Hello all, welcome back. So we are in day 8. So the agenda for today's session would be learning the Excel functions as shown. So we would be learning the nested if, rows and columns, the count of rows and columns, and other useful shortcut keys where we can use it in Excel in order to perform our day-to-day activities. So we have one of the same use case student data set, and we will explore these formulas to arrive the result. Let's quickly go to Excel. So I have a sheet called a student use case where I have the student names, their overall total, and we need to get the result value with the criteria as shown in column F to G. Okay. So the criteria what we have is if the total is belonging to this particular score, then we need to arrive this particular result. Now for James Walker, his total is 274. So it is over 249. So the result what he gets is excellent. The similar way for good, it should be greater than 200 to 249. And for satisfactory, it should be greater than 150. Else, it is poor, right? So how we can achieve this, right? So we can achieve this with the help of nested if. So for the users where they do not have an idea about if conditions, so I would really request you to just watch my previous videos to understand how we can write if conditions. If you understand how to write if conditions, then writing a nested if it will become very easier, right? So let's quickly start with the formula. So equal to, we will be writing if my logical test is my total. If this is greater than 249, which is this, it should return me the value is excellent, right? So this ends here. Let's go to second condition. Second nested if my total is, all right, it's greater than or equal to 200, it should return me the value is good, right? Else, if my total is greater than 150, it should return me the value as satisfactory. Else, it should return me the value as poor, right? So let me close this if condition first, and the second one is for this, and one is for last. So we'll be closing this conditions. Now let me just try to fill this formula and validate the result what we have got. Now if we look at this formula, so we are validating this total. If this total is greater than 249, it should result the value is excellent. If this total is greater than or equal to 200, it should give me the value is good. If my total is greater than 150, it should give me the value satisfactory. Else, it should give me the values poor. Now let's validate the data. So if you look at James Walker, it is greater than over 249, hence it is written the value satisfactory. Sorry, excellent. And if you look at Kibo Underwood, it is 170. It is this, where it has written the values 170. And for good, it should be greater than 200 to 4 to 49. So it is resultant of the value is good. And for poor, it is under 150. It is result the value is poor. So this is the way where we can use nested if conditions in order to arrive the multiple results of multiple criterias, right? So this is the logic for these if conditions, and based upon this logic, we have arrived the result of every students based upon their total, right? So this is how we can use nested if conditions in order to arrive the results, right? So now let's quickly learn about rows and counts, sorry, columns, right? So what is this rows and columns? I mean, how we can use this formula? So assume that, say, for example, you have bulk data, and if you want to identify the number of rows, okay, in your data sets, or number of columns in your data sets, you cannot just select, like, assume that you're dealing with bulk data. You cannot just select and you cannot validate the data, right, manually. So for that, you can write formula called as rows, right? And you can select this range array, and you can close this. In the similar way, for columns, you can select this. You can select this particular range. It gives you 3. Now, what is my array? Rows of, I've selected this. So we have count is 10. It has resulted in me the values. Okay, we have 10 rows in this data set. And for columns, you selected this particular range and it is selected the value as 3. This is the way we identify number of rows or columns with the help of rows and columns functions, right? So now let's quickly look into the shortcuts where we can use on daily basis. Okay, so now assume that, okay, this is the overall data what you have. Assume that if you want to insert any of the columns, assume that you want to insert between this friend name and result, if you want to insert 2 columns. Okay, so usually, like, manually what you have to do is you need to select this column, then right click, then you should go, to insert a column, right? So this is like, this will take a lot of time. So for that, the shortcut key what we can use is to insert to my columns. We can just say Control Enter. It just keeps on pressing Control Enter. You can add any number of columns. In a similar way, if you want to delete these columns between this range from B to E, you can just select this and say Control minus. It will be removed, right? In the similar fashion, if you want to add rows, if you want to select this entire row, the shortcut key would be Shift space, right? And if you want to add rows, you can press Control Enter. In the similar way, if you want to select this particular row, assume that you want to select from row 7 to 12, what you can do is you can select this cell, press Shift space and Shift down arrow. It will select all the rows and we can press Control minus to delete it. So this is the way where we can insert or delete columns. Now, about this use case, we very well know that the actual data what we have here is from row 1 until column 10, right? So basically these are data set. Now assume that if whatever the data set which you are having it in Excel, assume that you have like 10,000 records or 5,000 records, whatever it is. But if you want to select only the data set which we need, how we can get that? For that, what we can we can press function fi, right? And it will open up a dialog box called as go to. We can go to special, and here we have multiple criteria where we can select. Now assume that if you want to select only this particular data set, we can just say current region. Can you see? It has selected the current region of what are the data which now we have been utilized. With the help of current region, we can do that. In the similar way, let me copy this data and let me just paste it here. Okay. Now assume that, let me also copy this and paste it. Assume that we are dealing with bulk data, the blank rows, and we need to delete it. So that what we can do is we can do same thing, function fi. We get this pop-up, go to pop-up, click on the special, select this blanks. We select OK. Can you see it has selected only the blanks, and you can press Control minus, and it will pop up you the delete pop-up, and here you can do anything like which we work upon the use cases. So in this particular use case, I want to delete entire row. Okay, we can delete entire row, we can delete entire column, we can shift cells to left, we can shift cells up, and so on. So in my case, it will be entire row. Let me just click on OK. You can see all the blanks has been deleted in one go. This is the way where we can remove the blanks. Now, if you look at this particular result, I think it has the formula, right? So now assume that, okay, if you want to make this formula disappear, because whenever we are dealing with larger set of data, in case if the Excel sheet is having a formulas, in order to perform any of the Excel manipulations, it will take longer time, right? So it will ask you for the updates, and for each and every update, it will take longer time. So how we can remove this formula is by using paste special. Okay, with the help of paste special, we can do that. So for that, what we can do is we can select this column. We can say Control C, copy, right click, and you have something to call a paste special. If you click on this 1, 2, 3, and if you press escape, you can see all the formulas has been removed and we have got only the result values. This is the shortcut way where we can do a paste special of the data. Now, assume that scenario where the student name we have it in rows, right? You have the student names from row 2 until row 15, right? We have student name like vertically. Now assume that if you want to transpose this to horizontally, if you want to get this data horizontally like this, so with the help of transpose we can do that. Okay, how we can transpose this? You can just copy this data, select copy, click here, just type Alt ES, it will open a page special, and we have something called as transpose. So we want to select all values. We're not doing any operations here. We're just transposing it. Press OK. You can see all the values. It has been transposed to horizontally. So this is the way we transpose horizontally. Now here we can see that okay, the column width is too bigger, right? So we cannot see the full name here. Now, if you want to extend this, all these particular column values, column width, how we can do that of entire sheet? What we can do is just click on this, select this entire column, and just press Alt OCE. You can see the column width has been adjusted based upon the column size, right? So if you look at this, it has been already changed. The width of the column has been changed. So this is the way where we can do the adjustments of the columns of entire sheet, right? So this is about today's topic. I hope you guys have really enjoyed this video. If you really like this video, please do like this video, share this video, subscribe this video, and click on the bell icon. So thanks a lot. Have a great day. Bye bye.